Well, some people feel it's the Kobe show. We will find out here tonight. Olympians abound with De'Aaron Williams, Carlos Boozer, Kobe Bryant, of course, Pau Gasol for Spain as well. It's the Lakers and the Jazz in a Game 4 on a Saturday night here in Salt Lake City. Okur and Gasol to get us started tonight. Bill Spooner, Mark Wunderlich, Joe DeRosa, the officials, and we are underway. Derek Fisher, former member of the Jazz, spent a year here 2 years ago, now back to the Lakers again. Kobe defended by Brewer, and we may have our answer early here tonight.
There's so much discussion in both the Los Angeles papers and the Utah papers about whether Kobe Bryant is being too passive to start the games. He can impact the game equally, Dan, as a facilitator. Brace has given him some problems, made him a bit uncomfortable, so it might help that young man in his first playoff experience to start on the sideline.
Just 4 regular season games and now 3 playoff games for Bynum. At Game 3, he played only 7 minutes. And as Doris mentioned, got into foul trouble. Picked up 5 fouls in 7 minutes. But what a luxury that maybe no other team in the NBA has as Brewer airballs the second free throw to have a guy coming off the bench, or in tonight's case starting, like Lamar Odom. I mean, nobody else has a guy who comes off the bench 21 and 14 like Odom did in Game 3.
A 6'10", highly versatile scorer, can actually initiate your offense for Phil Jackson if you'd like him to.
Derek Fisher defended by De'Aaron Williams. Now Gasol spinning on Okur. 8 to shoot. Kobe with a shot fake, goes by Brewer and hits another one. 2 jumpers already for Kobe. And he has that look in his eye, doesn't he, Doris?
Well, he stepped between the lines for warm-ups. There was never a smile. There was no lighthearted moment. There was no shaking hands with opponents. That is old school, ready to take your heart out.
And he was all lighthearted after Game 2. The opening statement he made as Boozer knocks down the J. The opening statement Kobe Bryant made in his press conference after Game 2, he said, man, I know I didn't play well, but doesn't anybody have any questions for me? He was joking about it on Thursday night. He's all business here on Saturday. Driving again. Banks it in this time. Wow, what a start for Kobe.
He's got every basketball tool on the offensive end you could possibly want. But to me, this guy's greatness lies in his competitive streak. I think casual viewers would tune in and say this guy's just physically gifted. But the reality is there may be no one outside of LeBron James who works harder throughout the course of the year to put up these kinds of numbers.
Kobe with all 7 in the early going for the Lakers.
The best competitors want to win at everything. In a USA basketball, we were told every shooting drill, card game, it didn't matter.
Yep.
Kobe wanted to win it.
Sounds like somebody we know wore a Bulls uniform back in the day. Andrei Kirilenko with the answer for the Jazz 2-point game.
I like Kirilenko. I mean, they don't run a ton of stuff for him, but he's a guy who's got a great basketball IQ, understands when to make those basket cuts.
And if you like versatility and athleticism, Ariza and Kirilenko, a pretty enticing matchup at the small forward spot.
Very clearly, the difference in Game 3 for the Jazz was their ability to compete in quarters 1 and 2. They gave up 66 of 62 points in games 1 and 2. You're not going to win games giving up that much in the first half.
Kobe playing off Brewer's son. As Doris mentioned, Brewer not a good outside shooter. Deron Williams gets free behind a screen, buries the 3, and the Jazz have the lead. Gasol, gifted passer from the post, draws the double team, turnaround jumper, air ball. Deron Williams again. Rebound Odom. Odom all the way, the kick, the extra pass, Fisher. And a good box out by Boozer. No Laker within about 6 feet of that rebound.
I like the possession, though, Dan. The ball moved from side to side. They got out into transition.
Brewer defended by Fisher this time down. Going by him, baseline, too strong.
That is what Brewer should be able to do with Okoro on the floor. Okoro wants to space. He wants to get out on the perimeter and shoot jump shots. 93's had Okoro. That's what will allow Brewer some space to operate.
Gasol, again the double team. It'll be Ariza for 3. And still, Kobe Bryant is the only Laker who has scored. Fisher's going to get another clean look. And the Jazz fortunate. Derek Fisher does not often miss. Looks like he's just got it. Lakers have missed their last 5 from the field. Williams into traffic, and Derek Fisher is going to get called for the foul. 2 shots coming for Williams.
From the lead guard position, best combination of speed and strength is Deron Williams. I mean, the only guy who to me is comparable, and it's obviously a different position, is LeBron James. Because you just saw it. Fisher's body is the one who went flying, not this guy.
And you and I spoke of some of Deron Williams' younger days, not that he's old at 24, but you go back to high school, a high school teammate with Bracy Wright, who wound up playing at Indiana, but Williams was overshadowed a little bit by Wright. Then he goes to Illinois, has a tremendous career, but overshadowed just a little bit by D. Brown. Kobe Bryant, as you can see, struggling in a Game 3, off to a great start. Here in Game 4, again, the only Laker who has scored. Deron Williams' shoulder in a positive way. Always maybe a little bit underrated and underappreciated. He's turned himself into an all-star and an Olympian at the young age of 24.
And now it's probably Chris Paul who's his rival, or maybe a bit overshadowed. And those 2 great friends talk an awful lot.
Kobe again. He's got all 9 for the Lakers.
I think we have our answer. It's the assassin who showed up this evening.
So it's the Jazz 10, Kobe Bryant 9. 5 minutes and change into the first quarter here in Salt Lake City. Brewer, top pass off the finger of Fisher. Out of bounds, it'll stay with the Jazz. Nobody else has done anything at the offensive end other than Kobe Bryant. He's 4 for 4. The rest are 0 for 5.
Don't let that graphic deceive you, though. Derek Fisher has had 2 solid looks. This is not because Kobe's shooting every shot.
Okoro out. Millsap in for the Jazz. Millsap in for the Jazz.
Love how hard Millsap competes. That guy just works and works and works. And I think his ceiling as a player is very high. I think he can improve on the offensive end.
Well, if Boozer leaves, they've got a ready-made replacement. He was playing at a near all-star level while Boozer was out with an injury as Kobe misses his first shot. Now 4 for 5. Williams around Gasol. The kick to Kirilenko. The pass to Boozer. Beautiful ball movement.
That, to me, all facilitated, though, by Williams' ability to get to the middle of the floor.
Well, it was all Kobe in the early going, but nobody else has scored a single point for the LA Lakers thus far. Kobe on fire early, 4 of 5 from the field, 9 points, all 9 points for the Lakers. But at the other end, it's the team beating the individual. Kirilenko to Boozer, Jazz by 5. Cap of this series today, Game 1 of the Staples Center. The Lakers took a 22-point lead at the half. Kobe Bryant with 22, Trevor Ariza with 21, and the Lakers win by 13. Game 2, another Laker victory, again an early lead. They went 18 out of 21 in the first quarter. Kobe led it with 26. Lakers win by 10. Game 3 in this building 48 hours ago. Carlos Boozer 23 and 22. Jeremy Williams the game-winning shot. Kobe misses the 3 at the buzzer, and Utah wins to get back into the series, now trailing 2-1. And here in Game 4, Kobe Bryant on fire, all 9 points for the Lakers. Utah, though, on an 11-2 run to lead by 5.
Phil Jackson's team had won 51 consecutive playoff games before Game 3, in which they had a lead of 5 points or more entering the fourth quarter. Remember, the Jazz had to come back from 13 down.
Kirilenko defending Kobe on this trip to no avail. He wants the foul call as well. He's got all 11 for the Lakers.
And he just pointed at the crowd. Remember, this is a crowd that has been known to say some harsh things to opposing players. And Kobe, as he came up the floor, looked to our side of the floor and pointed at the fans.
And we'll see next time down the floor if it's Kirilenko again. Ronnie Brewer has drawn the Kobe Bryant assignment for much of the series. Sometimes Kirilenko, sometimes C.J. Miles. Brewer's still in the game, but we'll see if Jerry Sloan will keep with the switch because of the hot start for Kobe. Williams with a crossover on Fisher, can't get the shot off. 4 to shoot. Now he gets free off a screen from Boozer. And a good rebound in traffic by Ariza. The Lakers have to hold their own on the glass. The Jazz out-rebounded them by 15 on Thursday night. Gasol stripped. Williams to Boozer. And an offensive foul on Boozer.
Now, is he outside of the restricted area when he establishes position? It's very close. Could have been moving as well. The home fans are watching it on the Jumbotron. Obviously disagree. Hey, listen, Ian Thompson from Sports Illustrated just did a piece. Block charge is the most difficult call. I don't care what level of basketball you're talking about, Dan.
Andrew Bynum, as you saw, has checked in now for Gasol. So it's Bynum and Odom up front for the Lakers. Derek Fisher with the Rainbow J. And better than 7 minutes in, somebody other than number 24 has finally scored for the Lakers.
Well, he just touched on it. He missed a second wide-open jump shot. That's too good a shooter for him to continue to miss uncontested looks.
Boozer, talk about your uncontested look. Missed the elbow jumper. Bynum the rebound. Bynum feels the majority of his foul trouble has been offensive fouls, that people are getting to the spot quicker than him and luring him into charges. Kobe just shredding the Utah defense.
They did say in today's paper, I think I may look for my shot opportunities a little bit earlier tonight.
I think that's a bit of an understatement so far. 13 of the 15 Laker points. Kirilenko fouled by Ariza.
Kobe went 5 for 24, and there's no question that Brewer is a terrific defender, but good offense beats better defense, and you're talking about one of the most gifted scorers in the history of the game and one of the most competitive natures in the history of the game.
Already more made field goals tonight for Kobe Bryant than he had in all of Game 3. Okur trying to keep the hamstring loose. On the NBA calendar, ABC's got a doubleheader tomorrow. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern time. It'll be Boston and Chicago. Celtics leading 2-1. Detroit trying to stay alive against Cleveland. NBA on TNT tomorrow night. Orlando, Philly, and Portland, Houston. And then Denver and New Orleans with a Game 4 coverage Monday night on NBA TV.
Boy, what a series for Rajon Rondo. Just under a triple-double, 22 points, 10 boards, 9.5 assists. He has been sensational.
They look so good at Game 3 after losing Game 1 and almost losing Game 2. Millsap with another rebound for the Jazz. Here comes Williams pushing it. Odom trying to stay with him. Kirilenko with a drive and fouled by Ariza. That will be the second on Trevor Ariza, who has become a very important player as the season has gone along for the Lakers.
In fact, Luke Walton basically told Phil Jackson, I'll give up my starting spot. We're better with Ariza, but in fact, Walton will have to come in because Ariza stood up as a perimeter defender. And he lifted out of his defensive stance, and against Kirilenko, that's the last thing you want to do because he wants to put it on the deck.
Brewer will take the shot. They don't respect his jumper very much, but he knocks down the 18-footer. Jazz by one.
Let's see if he continues to shoot it, because if you're not being guarded, there's a reason you're not being guarded.
Here's Walton now into the small forward spot. Brewer on Kobe Bryant right now. Knocked away. They got to hurry to get a shot off here. Bynum has to force it up. And before the shot, a travel to call on the Lakers. And Phil Jackson pretty fired up here early in Salt Lake City.
Well, it's unusual for him, especially this early in the ball game.
Kyle Korver into the game now for Utah. Jumper airballed by Millsap. Kobe with 13 of 15 for the Lakers. Walt, tough catch. Nice feed. Bynum. Luke Walton, a terrific passer from the small forward position. Williams behind the screen from Millsap. Knocks it down.
Well, this guy's the package. He can spot up and shoot jump shots, but he's an opportunistic scorer. He could care less if he's got 25 or 2. If the Jazz win, he's happy.
And he has averaged those 44 minutes a game in the first 3 games of this series. Odom misses the jumper. 2-1, the Lakers lead the series. Boozer fading away. Tough shot. And it drops. Millsap had a thought about touching it, pulled that hand away. Or did he get a finger on it? They credit that to Millsap or to Boozer?
It should be to Millsap. They're doing a good job offensive rebounding, getting themselves second chance opportunities.
That is their 4th offensive rebound already. The Lakers don't have any. Fisher into traffic, and he draws the foul. Dermot Williams, maybe not quite matching Kobe Bryant point for point, but doing the best he can. He's knocked down a couple of threes already, and Utah continues to lead. Last Utah basket, by the way, was credited to Carlos Boozer. No tip, no contact from Millsap, so give it to Boozer. Now Boozer's gone to the bench. Matt Harpring is coming to the game for Utah. And Harpring was so important in Game 3. Came off the bench, Doris. 10 points, great energy in 13 minutes, helping Utah to the 2-point win.
And Jerry Sloan talks about one of the greatest workers in franchise history. And when John Stockton is part of your franchise, and you put Harpring in that category, that is a high compliment. He loves Harpring in the way he competes.
And Jerry Sloan, I think, values hard work and toughness more than anything else. And Harpring has a double dose of both. And by the way, congratulations to Jerry Sloan. Along with Phil Jackson's already in the Hall of Fame, Jerry Sloan will be part of the induction class of 2009. Says the thing he's most worried about, making a speech. This is a man who doesn't like to get up there and pound his chest, but he's going to have to make a speech up in Springfield.
He actually used the words, I'm usually intimidated in those situations. And anyone who's watched Jerry Sloan compete as a basketball coach or as a player, it's hard to imagine this guy being intimidated in any circumstance. But a bit of a bittersweet moment for him. When we asked him about it today, he got a little bit choked up. And right around the time the announcement was made, he lost his brother. And well done. It was a very emotional moment, but congratulations to him. Can't imagine to be a basketball lifer. No one sets out to go into the Hall of Fame, but what an extraordinary feeling that must be.
Been an emotional year for Jerry Sloan. Larry Miller, the longtime owner of the Jazz, passed away. 2 dear old friends of Jerry Sloan, both from his days in Chicago. Norm Van Leer, Johnny Red Curbo passing away on the same day earlier this year, and the passing of his brother most recently. Korver the save. No, he didn't. Laker ball. Let's check in now with Nancy Lieberman. Nancy?
Well, thanks, Dan. Trevor Ariza is in the locker room. He has a sprained right knee. sprained right ankle. The trainers are trying to re-tape him now, but they're hoping that he can come back. A lot of concern on the Laker bench for him to come back in this game. Dan?
All right, Nancy, thank you. And again, as mentioned, a valuable performer down the stretch and into the playoffs for the Lakers. There's Shannon Brown just called for the offensive foul. Young man out of Michigan State who came over in a trade from Charlotte, the Radmanovic-Morrison deal. Shannon Brown has supplanted Jordan Farmar as the backup point guard for the Lakers. What a pass. I mean, what a pass from Darren Williams to Matt Harper.
That is the first time he's come off and turned the corner and passed. He has been an aggressive scorer off screen and rolls out front for the first part of this ballgame. That time, the vision.
Kobe a little long this time. Korver had Gasol on his back, held off the big man, and enabled his teammate to come up with a rebound.
First two games, the Lakers were dominant with points in the paint scoring. Game 3 and through this first quarter, they're competing inside.
Harpring open. Big minutes again from Matt Harpring. Final possession of the quarter to the Lakers. Other than Kobe, the other Lakers have only scored 7. Vujacic from the corner. In and out at the buzzer, and Utah will lead by 5 at the end of 1. All Kobe Bryant for the first several minutes of this game. 13 points, all in the first 6 or 7 minutes, but the Jazz came back. Kobe rallied again, but then Darren Williams took over, and at the end of 1, Jazz by 5.
Back to Salt Lake. Phil, Kobe has played very well this game. Tell me the difference, please, in the success he had in the first quarter as opposed to what happened in Game 3.
Well, he had the same looks just about, but the ball rimmed in and out. Tonight, his looks are a little better. He still had a couple shots that are not there, but he's playing the right game. Right now, we got to get the rest of the guys up to speed.
Okay, you're always preaching defense like most coaches do. What do you do to keep the Jazz away from the rim?
Well, we've got to start building our perimeter defense a little bit farther out. They're too deep when they start their offense.
Okay, thank you. Dan?
All right, Nancy, thank you. So Kobe Bryant on fire early for the Lakers. 13 first quarter points. He starts the second quarter on the bench, and it was Ronnie Brewer on him most of the time. Kirilenko had him once. Mostly jump shots for Kobe. He actually went around Brewer on the dribble once. Carlos Boozer came over to help, and he just went around him and laid it in. But as you saw, the rest of the team just 2 for 10. So now Odom, Gasol, Walton, Vujacic, and Shannon Brown, the unit that starts the second quarter for L.A.
Ronnie Brewer had done a lot of press about the terrific job he had done on Kobe Bryant. You think he was motivated to score against him?
Brevin Knight misses the jumper. Yet another offensive rebound for Utah. This time it was Harpring. Korver inside. Millsap left hand.
What a different attitude in the Utah Jazz here at home in the Energy Solutions Arena. And Jerry Sloan talked about it. He said, I wanted more toughness from my guys. They're a different team here.
Gasol with a beautiful spin move on Millsap. And this is a problem that the Jazz have faced at times, their lack of height. Okur did start tonight, but missed the first 3 games. He's their biggest body. And right now, the biggest guys they've got out there are Millsap and Harpring. And the Lakers have Gasol and Odom out there at the 4 and 5 spots.
Well, Gasol is perfect for the triangle. A terrific passer out of the post, particularly interior passing. And he hits cutters off that triangle offense so well.
Harpring grabbing at Odom. Odom is tripped and will shoot a couple. I think it's Brevin Knight, 12th-year player out of Stanford. This is 9th NBA team. He'll be called for the foul, and Odom will shoot a couple. Lamar Odom, such big games in the middle of the year when Bynum was out for a while, and a huge Game 3. He had 21 points and 14 rebounds off the bench. He has not scored yet tonight. Log on to NBA.com now for the most extensive playoff coverage and in-depth highlights of tonight's matchup, as well as up-to-date scores, stats, and schedules from the postseason. NBA.com. The game happens here. Darren Williams getting a breather for the Jazz. Kobe Bryant on the bench for the Lakers. And a 1 of 2 for Odom.
Now in the starting lineup tonight, and remember Lamar at the start of the year was put to the bench, had initial negative reaction to it, but then succumbed to his ego and said, all right, I'm going to do what's best for the team. And it has worked incredibly well for the Lakers and for him.
Knight left the scoop attempt short for the Jazz. Back comes Shannon Brown with a full head of steam. Gasol triple teamed. And it'll be Laker ball. And Pau Gasol, a quiet start so far tonight. Doesn't get a whole lot of attention to reclaim. Just keeps putting up about 19 points, 9 rebounds. Game in, game out as Boozer gets ready to come back in for the Jazz. A little more size. Millsap out.
A little frustration by Gasol. He's frustrated he missed that. He spent some time in the weight room, got stronger after Boston. Didn't like being called soft.
What a cut by Odom on the out-of-bounds play, and the Lakers close within 2.
A pretty execution, a terrific curl by Lamar Odom.
Korver inside. Boozer with his 3rd assist of the game already.
It's a contract year for Carlos Boozer. He's showing everything.
And a block on Gasol at the other end. And they are on their feet yet again here in Salt Lake City. Korver. Walton leading the break. Shannon Brown, and that is where that young man excels. In college, you and I saw him a lot. Not a point guard, not really a great shooter, an athletic slasher, and he's acquired other skills at the pro level, but that is still his bread and butter.
Well, he can guard bigger size guard, and speaking of those, here comes Darren Williams, and that's why he's eating up Farmar's minutes. Brown can be an important piece of the puzzle on the defensive end, and a transition opportunity. He'll excel on the open floor with the Lakers, Shannon Brown.
Court for Harpering, who as always gets a big ovation. Shannon Brown is mentioned coming over in the trade with Charlotte. The Lakers didn't know that his shooting was as good as it was until he started taking shots in practice, and they're saying, hey, you can shoot. Be assertive. Look for your offense. Again, as you said, a bigger, stronger guy than Farmar. And Farmar didn't play a single minute in Game 3 and hasn't played yet here in Game 4. Okur. Gasol for the rebound. Vujacic on the drive. Into the chest of the defender, Miles, who comes up with a block. Korver's open. Got it.
Now you can see this crowd, Dan. Phil Jackson likened it to attending a rock concert and having your ears ring. We can barely hear each other talk here.
Odom no. Rebound Korver. Williams already with 4 assists. Okur won't take that baseline jumper. Korver with a beautiful feed to Boozer. All smiles for the Jazz. Great ball movement and sharing the basketball. Phil Jackson letting the Lakers play through it. Walton for 3. Big shot for L.A. That'll snap a 7-0 run.
A perfect roll guy. Luke Walton just understands, I'm not going to make any mistakes. I'm going to make open jump shots. He's a very good passer.
Okur driving on Odom. Nowhere to go. Here's Vujacic. Did not shoot the ball all that well this year, especially compared to a year ago. But a big 3, and just like that, Doris, it's a 1-point game.
He is fearless, Vujacic. I mean, he'll have some ill-advised drives, a possession before he went to the hole at 1-on-4. But a guy who is daring and not afraid of moments.
Korver off the screen. Williams the offensive rebound. The Jazz crushing the Lakers on the offensive glass. Miles no. The Lakers can take the lead. Shannon Brown knocks down the 3.
You know, it doesn't feel like the Lakers have played great basketball, and they have the lead.
The Walton three, then the Brown three. A 9-0 run, and all of a sudden the Lakers have taken the lead here in Salt Lake City, here in Game 4. Our Match.com star matchup, Kobe Bryant had 13 of the first 15 points tonight for the Lakers. He was on the bench at the beginning of the second quarter, has just come back in now. But in his absence, Vujacic hit a three, Walton hit a three, Brown hit a three, and the Lakers have the lead.
After going 0 for 5 from deep in that first quarter, the Lakers have made 3 straight here. And those guys that we just showed coming out of break with those Jazz uniforms, that's taking team spirit a little bit too far. They could almost be in our promos when Mark Jackson comes out.
That's right. Great defense by Shannon Brown, knocking away the alley-oop attempt. Boozer the rebound off the miss by Brown.
Boy, his confidence is back. Phil Jackson said, get your mojo back when he arrived at practice in L.A. You don't take that kind of jump shot in transition unless you're a confident guy.
Look at Vujacic. He's called for the foul. There was nearly a fight in practice yesterday at the Laker practice. Vujacic playing defense on Adam Morrison, and he was so much in the jersey of Morrison that Morrison wanted to deck him in practice. Morrison not dressed tonight. Vujacic just doing the same thing to Kyle Korver here.
Well, remember what Phil told Nancy. We need to push our perimeter defense out a little bit. That was Vujacic listening to his coach, pushing out on him.
The foul on Pau Gasol. Carlos Boozer will go to the line.
Don't you think that's a good sign, though? I mean, the Lakers, I think, are such a physically gifted team. And they can score from so many positions. And even Phil Jackson said it today. You know, we were thrilled to see Memo might play because we need a lineup that will challenge us. I think when you're as talented as they are, you can, think you can outscore people as opposed to competing on a play-by-play basis.
This game has been much different from the first three. These guys. The Lakers had a 22-point lead in Game 1. It got down to 9. They had a 20-point lead in Game 2. It got down to 3. And they had a 13-point lead in the second half in Game 3, and they lost that game. This is the first of the 4 games, really, where it's been this close in the first half of the game. Already 10 points, 7 rebounds for Boozer. Kobe.
No.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Absolutely. You can't guard that.
15 for Kobe. Boozer has been a real distributor tonight, already 3 assists as well. Double team on Williams on the perimeter. Boozer on the drive. Odom comes up with a rebound. Boy, you drive into the teeth of that Laker defense, and you're running into a 7-footer or 2. Vujacic in transition with a 3.
So dangerous. They can put a ton of pressure on you because they don't need one specific guy to trigger their break. It can come from a lot of different spots.
Trevor Ariza, by the way, back on the bench after twisting that ankle, should return. Kobe with a reverse. 17 for Kobe Bryant. Largest lead of the night for the Lakers. Timeout, Jazz.
Kobe Bryant. If Mark Jackson were here, and I know he's watching because he's a basketball fan. Mama, there goes that man. Turning over his right shoulder. You know he wants the fadeaway jump shot. In transition. Vujacic. Go ahead, LA. They're on the run. And when they're out running, they're dangerous. Defense turns to offense. Utah, you might be in a world of hurt because they're playing now.
All right, Jonesy, thank you. And they're going back to L.A. for Game 5 in this series. We know that. But will it be 3-1 Lakers or will it be 2-2? If Kobe Bryant has to say it's going to be 3-1 Lakers, he's a point away from his entire output in Game 3 when he had just about the worst shooting night he's ever had. But it took about 18 seconds of tonight's game to see what Kobe Bryant's game plan was tonight. He hasn't stopped shooting and scoring since. Trevor Ariza's back in. Rolled the ankle, but he's okay.
Well, the scary part is now the bench is starting to contribute as well for Los Angeles, and that's where they're so dangerous. They're 6 for 9 off the bench, including 4 threes.
Kirilenko, kept alive by Odom, and Gasol comes up with a rebound. Odom has been very active on the glass. 7-0 run right now for the Lakers.
An important time here for the Jazz. You do not want this team to get away from you and have to expend a ton of energy to come back from a double-digit deficit.
Kobe, a little short on the jumper over Kirilenko.
So that's your stop. Now go ahead and get a score. Let's see if they go inside the Boozer or set a high screen and roll. Nope, entry to Boozer.
Brewer. To Darren Williams, still plenty of time to shoot. They leave Brewer unguarded again. Not this time. Kirilenko kept it alive, but another rebound for Odom. 3-on-2 Lakers. Fisher, the pull-up from 18. Got it.
So really hard. That's one end where you're playing 5-on-4 because Los Angeles is not stepping anywhere in the vicinity of Ron Brewer. Gives an advantage on the glass, which leaks you out into transition.
9-0 run right now for the Lakers. Brewer gets inside. No foul. Odom another rebound. Lakers running again. Gasol, good deep position on Millsap, and a foul. Now Millsap was giving up real estate, and he's also given up a lot of height. Now Gasol quiet thus far. 2 points, 3 rebounds in 17 minutes. Bynum played sparingly in Game 3 because of foul trouble. Did not start tonight. Has only played 3 minutes here tonight, but Odom's playing well.
Different rhythm to the playoffs. So when you step inside an NBA arena in playoff time, Dan, and the intensity is almost something you could reach out and touch. He gave great hope to Lakers fans because when he came back, he was terrific. But this is a different level.
Millsap. And Darren Williams picks up another assist, his 5th.
Williams so dangerous if you allow him real estate in the middle of the floor because options open up and he can see every single one of them.
Second in the league in assists this year behind only Chris Paul. Immediate double team on Kobe. Fisher. How about the arc on that jumper? Broken play. Fisher picks up the errant pass and knocks it down.
With a hand in contest. It was pretty good rotation. It was really good defense. Just a terrific shot by Fisher.
Boozer. And assist number 6 for Darren Williams. The Jazz down by 9. Final 3 minutes here in the first half. Utah has led most of the half, but a huge run here in the second quarter when the Lakers now have the lead. Gasol right over the top of Boozer's head. Knocks down the jumper. Just held it high above his head and knocked down the J. Williams fouled.
Look at that strength. I mean, he is so good taking contact and being able to get shots up.
Well, Darren Williams doing all he can, but the Jazz in a little bit of trouble right now. The Lakers are up 11 here in Salt Lake. Well, you can make an excellent case that this building, Energy Solutions Arena, is the loudest building in the NBA. We asked Phil Jackson how he would like his team to deal with all that noise.
There's the idea that your ears are ringing when you go in the locker room, and that's always disorienting. It's like being at a rock concert in this place.
Maybe not quite as much as Laker fans love what they got in the first half out of Kobe Bryant. He had that look in his eye for the moment this game began. 24 in the first half for Kobe. Hi, everybody. Dan Shulman of Dorisburg. Glad you're back with us again here in Salt Lake City. The Lakers by 7. Kobe with 24. Our Gatorade Cooler Talk tomorrow, Monday. Whenever you're gathered around the cooler, they'll be talking about Kobe Bryant.
Most players would think, okay, there's a go-to move or two that you got to take away. Well, Kobe gave us everything he's got. Jab step, pull-up jump shot, the fadeaway over the right shoulder, which he loves. That one off window, not sure he called it. What's similar about all of these is willing his way to 24 points in that first half.
After struggling to a 5 of 24, 18-point game in Game 3, what a difference 48 hours makes. What a night so far for Kobe Bryant. And for the Jazz, they've got 2 stars, Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer, both of them with terrific first halves, really played great.
Yeah, outside of that, the starters didn't give him much. 19-17 were the bench scoring, LA and Utah respectively. But these 2 guys are the go-to guys. Darren Williams was sensational. He gets his shoulders turned, and he's so dangerous middle of the floor.
Lakers by 7. Let's get this report now from Nancy Lieberman.
Well, thanks, Dan. When I spoke to Jerry Sloan, he was really disappointed in the defensive effort of his team. I asked him about how you guard Kobe Bryant. He says, you know what, we're not going to stop him, but let's at least try to make him tired on the defensive end. We're not hitting shots against him. He said, we are who we are. We have to execute, defend, and rebound for us to be successful. Dan?
All right, Nancy, thank you. So we go to the second half. The Jazz need a win to square the series at 2. A Laker win, and they'll go home up 3 games to 1. So realistically, a game that Utah desperately needs. Mehmet Okur didn't do much in the first half. A Utah turnover here to begin the second half. Back come the Lakers. Gasol, pass tipped away by Brewer. Boozer comes up with it. Kirilenko inside the arc. 5-point game. The wins for LA in games 1 and 2, high-scoring affairs. As Doris talked about, they reached and actually surpassed 60 points in the first half in each of those 2 games. Utah won a low-scoring affair, 88-86 in game 3. Kobe fading away. 26. He is making unstoppable, unblockable shots. There's nothing Ronnie Brewer can do.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And that's his pet move. If he turns over that right shoulder, it is the fadeaway jump shot. He's created plenty of space. And even with a hand in contest, it hasn't mattered.
What a pass. Boozer to Kirilenko. And you know what? Going back to Kobe after game 3, nobody from Utah was willing to pat themselves on the back and say, hey, I know why we shut down Kobe, or I'm the reason we shut down Kobe. They didn't want to wake him up, but he woke up all on his own. And it started for the moment this game began.
Now, this is the end the Jazz have got to get better at in this basketball game. Again, 66 and 62 points respectively. Kobe's just ridiculous.
Just inside the arc after dribbling between his legs 2 or 3 times with the shot clock running down, never in doubt. He was turning back on D-Rose before the ball went through the net. He knew it. Kirilenko.
They're keeping pace right now. And this is what I have to say about the Lakers. I mean, it doesn't appear to me that on a possession-by-possession basis, they're locked in defensively. And that was their big calling card to start this year after, again, they lost to Boston in the finals.
Odom doing it himself and banking it in.
So you know they can do this. The Jazz have nothing for them defensively. The Lakers can score from a lot of positions and off the bench.
Nobody's missed a shot yet this quarter. Williams misses one. Odom with a rebound.
Again, remember, around Christmas time, Magic Johnson had a teleconference, and he said, if you want to win championships, defense never goes out of style. It's about that end for the Lakers, I think. Wow.
He just keeps knocking him down right in Brewer's grill. Tough, contested, long 2-point jumpers for Kobe Bryant, who's now got 30. And Jerry Sloan's going to go to the bench. And C.J. Miles will take a shot at it. Brewer knocks one down. They're trading baskets. How'd you like to, you're sitting on the Utah bench. You see Kobe Bryant making the most ridiculous shots ever. And then the coach points to you and says, you're in the game. And you know why you're going in. Kobe again, defended by Brewer again. Kobe with 30. 32 for Kobe. 14 out of 17.
This is as much about will as it is skill right now.
He has given the whole state of Utah a giant take that right now. He's been doing it all night long. Okur can't get the shot off. Lakers have made 10 shots in a row, Doors, going back to the first half. Darren Williams misses the 3. Gasol holds off Boozer for the rebound. Kobe behind the back. Kobe inside is fouled. And then discards Mehmet Okur in the aftermath.
And it started almost right as he stepped between the lines for warm-ups. There was no messing around. Kobe Bryant has come out in the second half very much the way he did in the first half. It hasn't mattered who's checked him, how close they've been, if a hand's up or not, contest. It's lights out for Kobe Bryant.
Those were his first 2 baskets here in the second half. You can see neither one of them was easy or routine. That's a contested shot. Brewers playing good defense on him right there. And then using the screen up and over Okur.
What does this feel like? See, there have been moments where I've watched LeBron live this year, and he flat refuses by will and by skill to allow Cleveland to lose games. And that looks to me like what Kobe Bryant is doing here. He wants no part of this series being 2-2.
No smiles, no lightheartedness from Kobe. He had that look from the moment he came out for a warm-up tonight. Comes down to the rebound. Kobe's got 10 already in this quarter. 10 of their 12. Williams knocks it away from him. And he'll get 2 at the other end.
The only danger here for Kobe Bryant, when he goes off like this, his teammates can tend to watch. Listen, they enjoy it as much as we do, right? We're loving this. But they can't stop playing. The triangle's a system predicated on player movement and ball movement. Let's see what happens.
Deron Williams drawing the assignment again. Kobe gives it up. Ariza gets it back. And Gasol will lay it in. And is fouled.
Gasol was asked if it bothered him that they called him soft after the final series against Boston. He said, "What do you think?" So he got in the weight room and look at him. Physically, he looks like a different guy. He's always kind of going to be leanly built in. Yep. But you can pay the price and get stronger.
Okur out. He has had limited minutes and been of limited effectiveness tonight for the Jazz. You could say the same for Andrew Bynum of the Lakers. Millsap back into the game for the Jazz as Gasol completes the three-point play. Okur's first game back, a strained right hamstring, keeping him out of the first 3 games of this series.
I think it's a rare player to come back after missing so much time and in the playoffs be effective. I'm not sure how many guys could do it with the intensity level this high.
Boozer heading to the line after the foul. Number 2 on Kobe. Carlos Boozer missing 44 games this year. Originally an injury diagnosed as a bruised quad. Eventually, several weeks later, had knee surgery. Came back in February, but only really started playing like himself late in the season and into the playoffs. And he's had 3 very good games, including a monster game in Game 3. And he's having a terrific night again here. 15 points, 8 rebounds, and let's not forget 5 assists tonight for Carlos Boozer.
There's a contract year for him. Some motivation. A lot of speculation about why they go 2 and 7 down the stretch.
Free throw grazed the rim and then saved by the Jazz. It's going to be a kick ball. So Utah getting a break. Phil Jackson, I think, is saying that ball didn't hit the rim. Didn't hit the rim, you blow the whistle, Laker ball.
Watch the trajectory. Does it change?
Tough to tell from that angle.
Wow, it doesn't look like that.
Break for the Jazz, maybe. Miles. And Odom holds off Millsap for the rebound. Odom now into double figures with his 10th board. Kirilenko with a steal. The Jazz not rolling over. Kobe Bryant defending Millsap right now, who's the power forward in this Utah lineup. Millsap with a jumper. The crowd thought that Gasol might have taken that ball off the cylinder, but it's Laker ball.
That defensive sequence, all 5 purple jerseys were in the paint, Dan. All 5.
Kobe off to Odom and a foul. And that all started because of all the attention that Kobe Bryant demanded out on the perimeter. 34 for Kobe Bryant, putting on a show here in Salt Lake City. Well, a lot of the talk after Game 3 was Kobe Bryant in the 5 for 24 shooting. You knew that wouldn't happen again. We asked Phil Jackson earlier today what he was looking for tonight. Kobe the facilitator or Kobe the scorer?
Kobe usually has an idea of how he wants to attack, and usually I'd anticipate him coming out tonight and playing on a tear, simply because he had a game that he did not enjoy. None of us enjoy it. Spark that this team thrives on. It gets the big guys easy shots. It gets our three-point shoot.
Well, their last possession was a case in point. He was attacking with dribble, but he passed it up. And this is what makes this guy so dangerous, is he can raise the level of the guys around him.
And meanwhile, and we'll see what happens when the Lakers get the ball back the next time. The last few minutes, Jerry Sloan asked Darren Williams to guard Kobe Bryant. Right now, C.J. Miles is lined up beside him. Kirilenko's had a try. Ronnie Brewer's had a try. If it continues to be Darren Williams, then Jerry Sloan's asking Darren Williams to do everything. He's got to score. He's got to lead the offense, find people, potentially defend Kobe. That's a big load.
How many minutes has Darren Williams played in this series? It feels like he hasn't missed many of the minutes.
Yep. He has sat out 2 minutes tonight, and he has sat out a total of 12 minutes in the first 2 games. So he's missed 14 minutes. That's it in the first 4 games of this series.
And just to go back to that point on Kobe, remember the triangle offense is a system predicated on ball movement and player movement. And it's best when there's a lot of activity and involvement from a lot of spots.
Fisher comes up with a steal. Bounce pass. Luke Walton lays it in. 14-point lead for the Lakers, largest of the night. Remember, at about this point in Game 3, Utah was down 13, rallied to win. Let's see if they can mount a comeback here in Game 4.
78 points on only 46 shots by the Lakers. That is about as efficient as you can be.
Darren Williams will draw the foul.
Speaking of the triangle offense, just a moment to send our thoughts and prayers out to Tex Winter, who's battling some health difficulties today. And I know it weighs heavily on the Laker family and the NBA family.
Tex Winter, of course, a consultant with the Lakers, the architect of the triangle offense, alongside Phil Jackson for the run in Chicago as well. And Tex Winter reportedly suffering a stroke earlier today. And we send out our thoughts to him and his family. It's Miles. There's the double team, and Kirilenko fouls Kobe Bryant.
And remember, that double team for Jerry Sloan is unusual. He is old school, and their system defensively is predicated on guys being able to guard their man. He told us today, he said, listen, watch this double team come. He said, I don't like that, because then you're allowing Kobe to pick you apart with his passing ability, and there's too many scores on the Lakers. But he's been so good, you better do something.
And I beg your pardon, Miles called for the foul, though it looked like it was Kirilenko who clobbered him on that play. It'll stay with the Lakers 8 to shoot. So Miles called for the foul, and it is Miles on Kobe Bryant. 14 fouls already this quarter on the Jazz. 4 different Utah players have had their opportunity, for lack of a better term, to cover Kobe Bryant. Gasol, Kirilenko, easy work on that. And the officials will confer whose ball is it going to be. Joe DeRosa, Bill Spooner talking it over. Mark Wonderland, Bill Spooner talking it over. It's going to be Laker ball, but just 1 on the shot clock.
Well, there were some technicals in Game 2 in this series. Would it surprise you? Game 2, Game 3. Wouldn't surprise you if there's another one here.
These two teams also played each other in the final game of the regular season. You wouldn't have blinked if that had gone in the way Kobe's night's been going.
How does he even get that to touch orange?
Williams. In and out. Great scrappiness there by Millsap to get him another possession. Boozer. Millsap. And a foul.
This crowd is waiting to explode. I mean, in anticipation on that play, everybody started to raise up out of their seats. They are dying for something to cheer about here.
They're going to get even more energetic because Matt Harpring is going to come back into the game. Millsap to the line. Now Korver will check in as well for the Jazz, and Shannon Brown for the Lakers. 3 games already in the books tonight. This is the 4th and final game. And a look at the NBA calendar tomorrow. An ABC doubleheader beginning with the Boston and Chicago Celtics up 2-1. Cleveland will try to finish off Detroit tomorrow. On TNT tomorrow night, a doubleheader. Orlando with Philadelphia, Portland and Houston. The home teams leading both of those series 2-1. And it'll be Denver and New Orleans Monday night on NBA TV, with New Orleans picking up their first win in the series earlier today over the Nuggets.
Thaddeus Young, somebody we watched at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Makes the game winner against Orlando.
A young, confident Philadelphia team right now. Walton Strip got it back. In and out. Boozer surrounded by purple jerseys, and he turns it over. 3-on-2 Lakers. The trailer was Odom. Utah ball. Numbers. Walton down behind the play. Open is Korver. They need it, and they don't get it. Harpring with an offensive rebound, and he turned it over. Walton got a finger on it. The Jazz are letting some opportunities to narrow the gap slip through their fingers.
Well, it was just a sequence that was important for Lamar Odom.
Odom again, and one.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, now see, Jeff Van Gundy talks an awful lot about people not appreciating what this guy gives you. He had to check Carlos Boozer on one end. So 6'10", he's got you versatile enough to check Boozer. 6'10" off the left-handed bounce, putting the ball on the deck. He draws big defenders away. Millsap, you're in trouble, fella, with somebody coming at you.
Number 3 on Millsap. Odom coming off the 21-point, 14-rebound effort in the loss here in Game 3. 8 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists already here in Game 4. Kobe Bryant to the bench. Kobe has really scored in bunches in this game. Had 13 points in about the first 6 minutes of the game. Played the rest of the first quarter, didn't score again. Sat out the first 5 minutes of the second quarter, then lit it up at the end of the half again, and then lit it up at the outset of the third quarter. Had 10 points in the first few minutes of this quarter. 34 on the night. Williams to Boozer, and a foul on Gasol.
He is just so good. I mean, his size with that strength, that handle, his passing ability. What do you take away with Carlos Boozer?
3 on Gasol. Boozer to the line. And again, up in the air whether Carlos Boozer is going to be here next year. He made a comment earlier this season that he would opt out and try to explore his options, looking for the best deal he could find. The world, the economy have changed somewhat in recent months, but remains to be seen whether or not the two sides are interested, or whether Boozer opts out. And again, in Paul Millsap, that's a pretty good plan B for the Utah Jazz.
Well, he's not the most popular guy in Cleveland, Carlos Boozer.
Yeah.
He certainly would not be the most popular guy in Utah if he leaves.
Utah shooting just 60% from the line in this game. And they can ill afford to miss any freebies. Down 15. No violation on Gasol. Odom leaves it short. Gasol had it, and a loose ball foul on the Jazz. Foul on Korver to take us to a break. It's all Lakers here in the third quarter. All Kobe most of the night. Those great Laker teams back at Brewer and Miles. A steal by Boozer. Williams tries to run it down, but the pass led him a little bit too far, and Ariza steals it. Kobe. Korver on it. And the foul will go on Darren Williams, his fourth.
He looks winded. He absolutely looks fatigued. Pulling the shorts.
Seconds rapidly ticking away on the Jazz, down to by 19, just over 3.5 to go. Ariza kicks it back down to Gasol. Jumper short, and a foul on Boozer will send Gasol to the line. So Pau Gasol, who's had what seems like a quiet night, still has 13 points and 9 rebounds already. Has not had to be a big scorer because Kobe Bryant's done so much of that tonight.
Boy, we've seen a lot of free throws not even be close here.
Gasol missed 6 of them. In game 3, it was just 4 for 10. That was his first miss tonight. He's 5 for 6, but he missed that one badly. And we have seen Dallas take a 3-1 lead on San Antonio despite the big game from Tony Parker. Denver's up 2-1 on New Orleans. Houston will try to take a 3-1 lead at home against Portland tomorrow night, but the Lakers making a big statement here tonight about how good they can be when they're clicking on all cylinders. Gasol blocks the attempt from Millsap.
It's hard to watch Tim Duncan play. You know, not 100% healthy. Avery Johnson was making that point at the half of our game, saying you are basically playing with 1.5 players because without Manu Ginobili, who is a tremendous competitor, Tony Parker's healthy and productive, but it's hard to watch Tim Duncan. That was the team I think most people thought, Dan, had the best opportunity, if healthy, to compete with the Lakers.
No question. Williams off to Ronnie Brewer for the jam. Again, Utah not rolling over, but they're down to 17. Kobe Bryant, from the moment this game began, with a couple of body blows to the Jazz. Kobe never let up, and here in the second half, Utah just couldn't get it going. They scored only 35 points. Here in the second half, they allowed 60 to the Lakers in the first half. Corbin just takes it right out of the hands of Gasol. Numbers for Utah. Williams to Boozer.
Oh, pretty play. Pretty look off, little shoulder shake, and Phil Jackson taking a timeout, and he is hot.
Working on one of the officials. Well, they've had some great players. Stockton to Malone. They got Williams and Boozer now, but they're still down by 15.
Yeah, that's a great point. And look at Lamar. I mean, that's just his personality, what you saw. Okay, he got ripped, but he came out with a smile on his face. He's one of the most popular teammates on the Lakers. They love the guy. And again, I'll go back to something Jeff Van Gundy said. People want to pick apart Odom for not being a dominant scorer. This guy likes to pass it and facilitate teammates more than he likes to dominate offensively.
Kobe fouled. The regulars remaining in the game for both sides despite a 15-point deficit and 2 minutes to go. Darren Williams still in there. Kobe Bryant still in there. Carlos Boozer still in there.
How about Lamar's line tonight? 10 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks. He's initiated the offense.
Odom no. Rebound Boozer. Game 5 will be Monday night at the Staples Center. The Lakers will have an opportunity to wrap up the series as Darren Williams is fouled on his way to the bucket. Sports Center is coming up next here on ESPN. Steve Levy, Matt Weiner will give you in-depth coverage of the NFL draft, also highlights from the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs, and also another wild game between the Yankees and Red Sox in anticipation of Sunday Night Baseball tomorrow night between those two teams at Fenway Park.
Did we have a first in NFL draft history? Because I felt like watching the clips, and I didn't see it live, but it looked like the New York fans erupted in joy.
They cheered.
I think that's a first.
You're a bit of a Jets fan, aren't you? Or are you Giants?
I'm a New York.
You're a New York fan.
Other than the Lakers, who I grew up loving, I've been a New York sports fan my whole life. So my heart broke when Patrick lost in Game 7 to the Houston Rockets. It just broke.
Big Jeff Van Gundy groupie back in the day. 13-point lead, a minute and a half to go. And An incredible effort tonight from Kobe Bryant with 38 points as Fisher knocks down the corner three. He's into double figures. 5 Lakers in double figures, 2 others with 9 points tonight. But really, Kobe the story. From the moment the game began, he scored 17 seconds into the game. He had 13 of the Lakers' first 15 points, and he is 16 out of 23. Perfect from the line, 38 points in the game. And Ronnie Brewer deserved better tonight. He worked hard. He had a hand in Kobe's face. He made him take tough jumpers. Didn't matter. Fisher forcing it at the end of the shot clock. And a violation on the Lakers. And as Jerry Sloan said to Nancy Lieberman a while back, he feels the Jazz haven't been able to stop Kobe Bryant as long as he's been in the league. And this is Kobe's 13th year.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a team in the West that could stop L.A.
Well, a lot of the Jazz fans have decided to beat traffic, and all of a sudden you look up in the stands, you see a whole lot of purple and gold. Kobe. And the final seconds will tick away as Brewer gets the jam. Another assist for Williams, but it's the Los Angeles Lakers in impressive fashion in a hostile road environment who will go up 3-1 and look to close out the Jazz on Monday night. Thursday night, 24 shot attempts, he made 5. Tonight, 24 shot attempts, he made 16. Had 38 points, and at times, Doris, it looked like he was out there playing against high school kids tonight. He was just dominating and getting anything he wanted.
Didn't matter who checked him.
Let's go to Nancy Lieberman, who's got Kobe Bryant with her.
Well, thank you very much. And I do have Kobe Bryant. I am so impressed with the mindset of this basketball team, considering you struggled here with this team in Utah over time. What was it about the team that we were able to win so easily?
Well, the thing about this team is when we were struggling, everybody on this team was pretty much in middle school. So, you guys don't really think about that stuff. We just come in here and play hard and try to win.
Okay, Kobe, you've said many times this year that you wanted to win another title. How much will your defense play a part of that becoming a reality?
Well, if we're going to win a championship, it has to be defensively. Offensively, it comes and goes. Even though we're a great offensive team, you can't be on every night. So it's important that we keep the defense first and foremost.
All right, what will the mindset be when you're back in L.A. Monday with a chance to close out the series?
Well, be mature. Be a mature professional team. Try to handle our business.
And your effort tonight, do you have to come up with 35, 38 points every time you play, or do you defer to some of your teammates in these situations?
No, it's not something that I have to do it. It's just it's a bonus. It's a feature for this ball club. I've been sitting back, relaxing, probably waiting a little bit too much when scoring is one of our best features. So it's important for me to be aggressive.
All right, thank you very much. Dan.
All right, Nancy, yeah, he's a bonus. He's a feature, all right. 38 points tonight, 16 out of 24, all Kobe, all the time.